Today you're listening to a chilling autopsy tale where a missing fetus and a ghost mother hide a secret that will freeze your blood. If you enjoy this horror, I'd love your support. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Let's get started. I'm performing an autopsy on a pregnant woman, and things keep getting stranger. I knew her. In all my years of work, I've developed a strange relationship with death. I see it as something purely physical. The body in front of me is just an organism who's stopped living. That's all that it is. And yet, it took me by surprise to have her on my table. I'd seen her around the hospital before, excited. I froze with the instruments in hand. I was the only one in the morgue, or at least the only one alive, and it might have been the lack of sleep or the general eerie atmosphere that was making me feel unsure of what I was seeing. There was no earthly way she could have made those carvings on her ribs. Tiny carvings of the symbols. My throat was dry, which made me feel like I was choking on air, and suddenly the collar of my scrub felt too tight for me. It wasn't my imagination. Her ribs were covered in these carvings. Could it be some bone-eating bacteria? I knew it was pointless to even ask that question, because I knew it wasn't. I creaked the door open and peered into the hallway. The clattering had come from the supply room, and I hadn't heard the door open or close, so what had done it was still there. I approached it slowly, holding my breath as if I were afraid to make a sound. I placed my hand on the doorknob and twisted. Click. It was locked on the inside. I knocked. "Hey," I whispered, "is anyone there?" What followed was an unusual sound, something like someone sucking the air through their teeth. I looked back to the Part 2. There's just something about the darkness that deepens the horror of seeing a fresh print of a child's hand on your window. During the day, it is disturbing. During the night, it makes your stomach turn. Especially when you live alone. Especially after having done an autopsy on a pregnant woman whose baby was never found. Especially when the print is on the inside of the glass. I'd seen the print that morning, yet refused to acknowledge it until late at night. I figured you like to think you know yourself. You believe you'd react a certain way in a situation. But unless you actually go through it, you can never truly know. There are 3 types of responses to this absolutely ghastly, unsettling appearance: fight, flight, or freeze. Apparently, I am the type of person who freezes. I looked up and made eye contact with her. Her eyes were similar to one of those paintings. I did an autopsy on a pregnant woman whose baby is missing, and now she's in my house, and she had these symbols on her, and I don't know. What? Did you hear anything I said? I'm being haunted, or hunted, or both. I looked up to see the woman standing in my doorway. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Wes, are you on something? Because you promised me that if you ever tried it, we'd do it together. I started the engine and looked up to see the woman standing closer to my car. Her hospital gown was drenched. I'm sorry. From what you're telling me, she's part of it. And she wasn't dead when you opened her up. Yeah, I figured that out already. Do you have the paper with you, with the symbols? No. Darn it. Great. How about we just search for it online? I don't think we'll find anything online. Not on regular search, at least. He gave me a blank look. No? The dark web, then? Is that why you called me? Yeah, I knew you used to look there when you got medicine. This one says, describes symbols such as a flaming triangle, a hand with a missing ring finger, a nail. He says the letters are strangely human and that his aunt used them when she was part of this society. He claims to be from Alaska. We began reading through his logs. For privacy reasons, call me Keith. Yeah, I mean, the most unbelievable rituals I've seen, and believe me, I've seen a lot, are tied to Mahashargahea, or worshippers of the dead mother. They originated from some very devoted idolizers of Virgin Mary and developed the ideology that the Antichrist, or whatever, was going to be born after the death of the mother. He had to be born in death, from death. It's like a whole process spanning over years. Some other user had asked, so like every woman part of the cult wants to birth the Antichrist? Oh no, they do all kinds of unusual rituals and such. From time to time, more devoted followers think that they can achieve eternal life by trying to birth the Antichrist. But it's rare and very intense. They get pregnant, then go on this strange diet and perform odd rituals alone. Their body goes through those transformations, and eventually they end themselves and wait to be brought back by their sons. Lol, does that even happen? Rare as can be, in my opinion. Never heard one case. But yeah, it can happen. It would be tragic, though. I mean, even if their child would turn out alive, its soul would probably be given to dark forces or something, and the mother would turn up some hat-living figure. That scared the daylights out of me. Haha, I'm tempted to write some symbols and check whether this is true or nonsense. Don't write anything. Don't read anything out loud. Don't do any of that. They're clingy as can be. My aunt could not get rid of them. Well, if I already did, just wait it out. It'll pass. They can't hurt you unless you continue to acknowledge them. If they're after you, just give them what they want. I stared at the text, dated over 7 years ago. They can't hurt you unless you continue to acknowledge them. They can't hurt you unless you continue to acknowledge them. They can't hurt you unless you continue to acknowledge them. How much would it count as continued acknowledgement? Did I really have to live my life in danger from now on? Afraid to close my eyes? Had I done too much? Was it too much attention? The autopsy, pictures, writing the symbols down, searching the web. I spent the night at Tom's. I had this semi-dead ex-pregnant woman on my trail, and something told me she wasn't the only one. If she'd been so disturbing, I sure as anything did not want to meet her baby. On another forum, we'd found ways to cleanse the influence of cults over your life. We drenched everything in holy water, put on Gregorian chants, and went to various churches over the span of 3 days. Now things seem to go back to normal. At least in my case. Tom, on the other hand, remained curious. He texted me one night to tell me that he keeps hearing a baby cry outside, and I haven't heard from him since. As we conclude this spine-tingling story, I have to say, this story really got under my skin. The mix of a haunting autopsy, mysterious symbols, and that eerie ghost mother left me both spooked and intrigued. It's a wild ride that makes you wonder what's really out there. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. It'll motivate me to bring you the next video even faster. I'd also love your subscription to join me for more creepy stories. Thanks for watching.